So, Dominic, thank you very much for being here.
No problem.
Split your time. Obviously, we're here at the Asian Sports List. Do you want to tell me a little bit why you're here?
Yeah, so I'm hosting it this year. It's the second year that Sonia has started the sports list. It's in its infancy at the moment. I think the more and more times she does an event like this, the more and more it will grow, and the more exposure I think Asians in sport will get, because I think there's a real ignorance, not perhaps ignorance is the wrong word, is like not a lack of knowledge about how many Asians are involved in sport. And if you look at this room, how full it's going to be, about how many people are trying to get into the sport, but how many people are already in the sport as well, it's a big surprise to everyone. And I just think if that's highlighted more, then people are going to get into it more.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously you come a bit in TV. How long have you been in TV yourself?
So, 22 years now. Yeah.
So I used to work in TV, and when I first started, one of my close friends was a director, Asian ideology. He really struggled with progressive because it's colour of skin. How much better has it got for Asians and black and mixed race? For people of colour, how much does it improve? And the opportunities there?
Massively. The opportunities are always there. It's how you want to use that opportunity. I think more and more now, I mean, I can speak for when I'm the place I work at Sky, and they really are trying to address the diversity issue, because they understand, look, we might not have as many black people or Asian people on screen that we do want. So, I mean, when I started, I'm sure I speak for a lot of people who were there back then, and also perhaps people who are trying to get into the industry now, they're not seeing people that look like them. So that's the big barrier, I think. If they see someone that looks like them, then they can see, oh, maybe there's a pathway for me to get in. If they can do it, then there's an avenue for me to get into it as well.
Do you think there's still a big problem within sports as well? Because if you look at Premier League, there's not many Asian footballers, but when you go and see five-a-side pitches, seven-side pitches, you see.
Yeah.
Why are we not seeing Asian?
I think, look, when I was growing up, I think it was a cultural thing. It wasn't seen as a profession to get into. Sport wasn't a career; it was a hobby. Now I think times have changed a lot, because you've got young kids in academies who are of an Asian background, who are talented, and who clubs want to push through now, because it's not only going to help them on the pitch, it will help them off the pitch as well, because it will attract other Asians to come into the game. But also, if you look at the global market as well, if you have an Asian footballer who does really well, I mean, the market would explode, wouldn't it?
Absolutely. I was going to say, a bit like boxing, in a way, Amir Khan, when he came on the scene, it sort of kick-started it, but then there was a bit of a lull. Do you think that, seeing as he's fighting back in the UK and he's got his name back, do you think there's a lot more Asian boxers?
Yeah.
Where do you see we need to kind of improve in other sports as well?
I mean, look, I don't think football has cracked it at all, to be honest with you. I think all sports need to improve, but that comes from it's one of those weird situations, right? You want to get a professional footballer or a professional boxer in there at the top of their game now, but to get it now, you need to go right the way back, grassroots, bring them through. There shouldn't be that issue with Asians and people of the BAME background trying to get into sport anymore, because it shouldn't exist anymore. I don't think it does so much anymore, but especially with Asians, I think the cultural side of it, I think, has changed now, because I think a lot of people are now thinking, actually, you know what, this is a career. And I mean, I'm involved with the Asian Football Awards, and I'm involved with the Asian Sports List now as well. And what I do find that is quite inspiring is when people say, oh, why are you having an Asian Football Awards or an Asian Sports List? My answer to that is so that in 10, 12, 15, 20 years, you don't have to have these awards anymore, because there will be so many people coming through at that point. You won't need to diversify the awards at all. Now, when you see the number of people in that room and the number of people at the football awards and the different jobs that they do within sport and within football, there's so many avenues that people can go down. It's not just a player, you can be a coach, you can go grassroots, you can go into the media. There's so many Asians involved in sport, and I think this just shines a light on it.
So we were talking to Sonia off camera, and you know, back when she was growing up, you know, we were similar age, it was the same thing to be, you know, you have to be a lawyer or a doctor.
Yeah.
Do you think, like, because of the generations of parents, that attitude is slightly changing, where they actually, you know, they're encouraging their sons.
100%. 100%. Because like I said, it wasn't seen as a career before. The things that you mentioned, lawyers, pharmacists, doctors, those were seen as the career, and oh yeah, you can play sport, it's a hobby. You can join a team, yeah, but then you need to focus on a career. Whereas the career now, they've realised can be sport.
And you mentioned Sky. Obviously Sky do a lot for diversity, you know, we've seen a lot for LGBT, you know, what have you. Do you think that Sky are on the right track compared to, say, other companies and other...
You know what, I can't speak for other companies, I can only speak for what I see at Sky, and I think they really are addressing it, that they see it as an issue that they want to address. They want to get more people from a BAME background involved, provided they're good enough. Yeah. It's not a case of, let's just bring them in for the sake of it. It can't be that. But if you're good enough, the colour of your skin shouldn't matter, and I think Sky are really addressing that situation. I've seen it with my own eyes.
I think we've seen it last year, haven't we, really, you know, presenter-wise as well.
Yeah.
And fair play, man, BBC and that. I think they're all, like, say, following suit. I'm not saying they're trying to be, but I think they're generally doing it.
Yeah.
Because it's the right thing to do, you know. It's,
because there's a lot of talent out there.
Exactly.
And that's untapped. So why not address it?
No, absolutely. Well, listen, thank you very much for giving me some.
No problem, mate.
How do you people follow you on social media?
Oh, just Twitter.
Yeah. Do you want to shout out your Twitter?
Oh, at Sky Sports _Sheth.
Brilliant. Thanks very much.